3, 2, 1.
Hi, this is Genesis, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Well, it seems like after Ryan Garcia's win over Oscar Duarte, Oscar De La Hoya and Ryan Garcia are still at odds, at least when it comes to who they want Ryan Garcia to fight next. Because Oscar, he stated right before this fight that he wants Ryan Garcia to fight the winner of Devin Haney versus Haney-Prograis next. Oscar, he did an interview. He was responding to what Teofimo Lopez said when Teo was talking about turning down a $1.5 million offer to fight Ryan Garcia. Oscar said he was never offered $1.5 million. Quote, "I sat down with his promoter, Bob Arum, and we discussed a percentage split, and that was it. Never made him an offer. But I'll tell you this, I'll be watching very closely when Devin Haney and Haney-Prograis go at it, and the winner will possibly get a call from me where we can start negotiating a fight with Ryan if Ryan wins against Oscar Duarte." This is what Oscar De La Hoya said the week of the fight with Oscar Duarte. And this is what Ryan Garcia said right after he beat Oscar.
Man, Derek, we worked hard. It's our first fight together. We're going to build off this, and we're just going to get better. I told you, I'm committing to becoming a world champion. If Rollies wants that, bring it on, Rollies. I know you talk a lot. Let's get that going, Rollies. Where you at? You got beat up by that old dude. We know what happened.
So you're still the money guy in this 140-pound division. Now, you mentioned Rolly Romero, who is the WBA title holder. Is that the fight that you want next?
Yeah, let's keep building, and then we could go after Devin Haney and all the other dudes, Teofimo. But we got to take our steps, build with Derek James, my first fight, and we go from there.
You always said Devin Haney is going to be your most difficult challenge. Why do you think Tank is going to be easier than Devin?
It's just how I feel, me and Devin have had a long history in the sport. We've been fighting since the amateurs, and if you watch his fights, of course it's going to be a more difficult fight. He has a longer jab, he's harder to hit, I believe, and he got a good support system, and he has great discipline. So I think he'll be the toughest fight, but I do believe I will still defeat him.
So clearly, if Ryan Garcia believes that Devin Haney is a harder fight than a Gervonta Tank Davis fight was, we won't see that fight for a very, very long time, which is the reason why it's going to be almost impossible for Devin Haney to become undisputed at 140 because of the people that are holding belts there, like Rolly Romero. Every time Devin Haney's name is mentioned around Rolly, he makes it very clear he wants zero smoke with Haney. So he's most likely just going to try to hold that belt until he can cash out and possibly get the Ryan Garcia fight, or until he's forced to fight against a very tough mandatory or vacate the belt. Now, Rolly Romero, he just recently came out and said that he wasn't feeling well, his health wasn't 100%, and he doesn't even know if he would be ready to fight Ryan Garcia next. So it looks like that fight won't be next for Ryan Garcia either. And then you have the champion at 140 that no one is mentioning right now, which is Subriel Matias, arguably the toughest champion in the division right now. Somebody's going to have to see him eventually, because as he keeps getting bigger and bigger wins, it's going to be harder and harder for people to ignore him. Right now, the biggest star at 140 is Devin Haney. He sold out the MGM Grand when he fought against Lomachenko, and his fight with Haney-Prograis at the Golden State Warriors Arena is nearly sold out right now. And just for the record, Ryan Garcia, Lomachenko, and not even Teofimo Lopez have never sold out any basketball arenas, not even close. So if we're not including Gervonta Tank Davis's name, the biggest fight to make at 140 would be Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. But once again, Ryan Garcia is not ready for that. He's going to really take his time before he gets in the ring with a monster like Devin Haney. Speaking of being a monster, isn't it pretty interesting when you hear Ryan Garcia once again tell you that Devin Haney is more dangerous than Gervonta Tank Davis is? And then he puts emphasis on it because he says, of course he's more dangerous. He has longer arms and he's harder to hit, meaning Ryan Garcia, as a professional boxer, he's saying that's far more dangerous than just someone who has power. Now, and this is not to suggest that Gervonta only has power, because he can box as well. But you just often hear from these decafs on the internet, dumb casual-ass fans, that talk as if the fighter who has the power is always the one that has the edge. But if you have really paid attention to the sport of boxing, 9 times out of 10, it's always the fighter with the least power that beats the guy that has the most power. Boxing has always been dominated by brains over brawn, at least 90% of the time. But then, of course, you have fighters out there like Terrence Crawford and even Gervonta Tank Davis that has the brains and the brawn, the brains and the power. At the end of the day, what Ryan Garcia is telling you is it doesn't matter how hard a puncher punches if he cannot hit you. But it does matter when a fighter is quick enough to hit you whenever he wants to and you can't hit him back in return. I'll wrap this video up by saying this. The fact that Oscar De La Hoya, Ryan Garcia's promoter, he's pushing for Ryan Garcia to fight against Devin Haney versus Haney-Prograis, and Ryan Garcia wants to fight against Rolly or someone else, that just puts even more pressure on Ryan Garcia to take the Devin Haney fight if Devin Haney beats Haney-Prograis. Let's see how it all plays out. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.